Hey, are you guys watching the new version of Dynasty? Joe and I caught the first episode on Sunday night, and let me tell you, it's kind of messing with our minds because in this version, Crystal is mean, and in the old version, Crystal was not mean. Crystal is also some type of Latina in this version, and of course, you know, I think everybody was white in the last version. I suppose they have to change up the nationalities of a lot of the characters because of the way things are nowadays. But even Jeff, that used to be married to Fallon, he's black. And then what else? Sammy Joe used to be a girl in the old version. Now Sammy Joe's a boy. I was like, I don't want to give away too much in case you guys haven't seen it yet and it's on your DVR, but you guys should go watch. I'm going to try to stick with this, but if it starts messing with my mind too much, I'm going to quit because I am true to the old version, okay? That was me and Joe's thing back in the 1980s. Dynasty on Wednesday nights and Knots Landing on Thursday nights. We never got into Falcon Crest or Dallas, but I kind of knew what was going on Dallas because a lot of my friends watched Dallas, but I never knew anything about Falcon Crest. Anyways, I'm trying out a bread recipe right now. Two loaves about this size. It has little cubes of cheese in it. The recipe called for some other type of cheese that I don't even know the name of. So I'm just using cheddar. It called for a lot of garlic. I didn't put none of that in it. So that's what I do. When I find a recipe, I start changing it immediately to suit what I like. You know, that's why I always tell people on my cooking channel, change it around. Do what you want to do. Why do you have to come at me and attack me because, oh, you didn't put cooking oil, but you put butter? It's like, do what you want to do. Make it your own, right? So I'm going to make a hamburger out of that when it's done because I found some ground beef. And Joe is like, I really want some solid meat to eat. Every time Joe says that, he wants beef, okay? And so I said, I'm making a burger. And then he says, what, out of ground turkey? I'm like, no, I found me some ground beef in the freezer last night, and I put it to thaw in the fridge. It didn't thaw. I don't know what's going on with my fridge, but the meat didn't thaw. So I have it soaking in some hot water, in the bag, of course, in the package in the bag. And I'm going to make a hamburger because I saw this recipe for this wonderful hamburger sauce. I saw it on a show today. And I wanted to try it, and I made it, and it came out good. So I can't wait for the bread to be done. I'll slap that sauce in there, put some lettuce, put the burger meat, and I'm ready to roll. That's going to be my dinner today. So Joe's like, me too, me too. I'm like, how did you get in this? I don't even know how much burger meat I have. So I think it's too late for me to go to the gym. It's 4 o'clock and I have to go live today. I promise you guys that every Tuesday at 6:30 I go live, and so I want to stay true to my word. It's the one thing that I do each week, you know, to give back to you guys, and so I have to forfeit the gym so that I can spend time with you guys. But it's okay because we're gonna have fun later, right? So I spent almost all day looking for that little book right there. I found it tucked away inside this binder that I have with all my handwritten recipes. The reason that I bought that book is because it has a recipe in there for bagels. Now, Mama used to buy me these books every season when she was alive. 4 times a year, she would get these books. She would write her name all over it. Rosalie McNamara goes, this is my book. Bring it back when you're done. You don't keep my book. I was like, yada, yada, whatever. You know you're giving me this book. I still have them with her handwriting on it. But this one had a bagel recipe in it that I simply have to try. It has a lot more ingredients than the bagels that I make, but I promise you it says, Joe, could you get that for me, honey? Where is it at? Hold on, let me get it. Don't y'all know I hate these robots that call all day long? So anyways, it says you only have to let the dough rise 10 minutes after the first kneading. Now, every time I do anything with yeast, you have to let it rise 45 minutes to an hour. So I don't know if somebody made a mistake, but they say 10 minutes. And then you make it into the bagels, and then you let it rise 10 minutes. That sounds more appropriate because when I'm doing my bagel recipes, they only take about 10 to 20 minutes to rise the second time around. And then you boil them and you bake them. And I'm like, I'm going to try. It's called honey bagels. It's made with honey. And it has like poppy seeds and I don't know, a whole onion powder or something, onion flakes or something on. I don't know if I'm going to put that stuff on top of it, but I want to try to see if it only takes 10 minutes to rise the first time around. Because if it does, that's something we could do now and again for like breakfast, right? Anyways, yeah, I think Joe went to go check out a car for Jada today. It had a buy it now price that was reasonable. The car was beautiful inside and out. He got there. The car's not at the auction site yet. It's going to be there this evening or tomorrow. They gave him the name of the dealer that put it in the auction. Joe called the guy and said, anything I should know about the engine or transmission? And the guy's like, we took it in just as a straight trade. All we did was wash it, you know, polish it, clean it up. And there's a rattling noise in the engine. I was like, that beautiful car is just like a girl with herpes. She can be as beautiful as she want to be, but don't nobody want her. So I don't think that's going to be Jada's car, but it was beautiful. It was a light powder blue Hyundai Santa Fe 2003, gorgeous inside and out, but that's too iffy for me. You know, Joe's not a mechanic, so if he could take Sergio in, Sergio could tell him if that's minor or major, but there are a lot of things that could be wrong with an engine if you hear a rattling noise. That's not a good sign. So I think that's the update. Jada went with her friend Alex. That's the one that just lost her mom recently. And I just got a call from my friend. Remember the ones where we went to the lake, I think back in June for their 25th, not 25th, where am I? 31st wedding anniversary. The husband's mom died. So I'm going to go to a memorial service like towards the end of the month. So that's very sad. I'm lifting him up in prayer because he was very close. He was very close with his mom. So I think that's the update right now, guys. I'm hot. I've been hot all day today. I hope I don't have a fever. I was hearing the pastor preach this morning, and he was saying some foolishness about a fever is not a symptom that you can treat. A fever is symptomatic of an attack from the enemy, from the devil. I'm like, okay, where are we going with this? Because a fever is a symptom that you have an infection. That's what a fever is. A fever is not even a disease. It's just a sign that God gives us. Can you imagine if you had an infection growing inside of you, like how Jada had that abscess, and she didn't throw a fever or show any signs? Then that thing would kill her and we wouldn't even know she had it, right? So that's what a fever is. And he goes, so sometimes, you know, God gets offended when you run to the doctors too quickly and you don't seek his help first. I'm like, that's why he gave us doctors. We're supposed to be doing both. You guys saw me, right? When I was taking Jada back and forth to the hospital, I came back and we prayed. We prayed there, we prayed here, we prayed through the medication, we prayed through everything, but Jada needed those life-saving medications, and no pastor is ever going to tell me, don't go to the doctor because all you need to do is believe and expect and hope. Julie, you know you needed to go for that surgery, right? Osley needed that surgery or else he would have died. No laying on hands would have did that. You know, I've told you guys, of course, the battery died right at the best spot, right? So what I was saying is that a miracle is God's supernatural intervention into our situation. And we want to live our lives to where we don't need for him to intervene supernaturally all the time, right? We want to take care of our bodies, our minds, and just pretty much do what God tells us to do so that we can be in obedience, so that we can get all the blessings for being obedient, right? So I want to tell you guys a scripture today. It's not going to be a Bible story. I just want to tell you guys about the Lord's Prayer. A lot of churches will tell you that the Lord's Prayer is our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You guys know it, right? I'm sure that even if you don't belong to a set church, you've heard that prayer before. Well, that prayer is just like a formula or a pattern for which God gave us so that we could pray to him and be compliant, you know, with the way we should pray. But the real Lord's Prayer is found right here. Let me get my book. I even have it written when I was studying. Somebody had to teach this to me, of course. See, I said the Lord's Prayer. John chapter 17, and it's Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. And it starts at verse 1 and it ends at verse 26. So I'm not going to read any of it because I want you guys, when you have time, to go ahead and just read through it. This is when Jesus prayed for us. When he went to his Father right before, you know, he was crucified and stuff. And he prayed for us. And that's the true Lord's Prayer, okay? So I want you guys to have that little bit of information because a lot of the times pastors will snow us with stuff, you know. Don't you notice that pastors always try to be the smartest person in the room? I don't like that. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. Sometimes I get scared when I'm in a situation and I look around and I know I'm the smartest one in that room. I'm like, I want somebody here smarter than me. What if this trouble comes up? I want somebody to help me solve this situation, right? So I always like to be around people that are smarter than I am because I can learn something from them. I really think that if I could hang with a YouTuber that's making it work, you know, where they're making actual money at this thing, that I could really learn a lot. You know, even with this car flipping business, I've been watching this guy on YouTube and he shows us how he flips his cars. And as something as simple as putting a little yellow flag or a ribbon, not a flag, but a ribbon on the antenna, you know, especially if the car has the antenna that stands up. Something as simple as that, he says, can attract the people's attention to know that the car is for sale. If you have it parked somewhere, I'm like, hey, That's something that I learned. And let me tell you something about yellow. Banana yellow or canary yellow is the way you want to go if you're trying to attract attention, okay? If you don't trust me, do this. Take a sheet of yellow paper, regular printer paper, fold it in 3, stick it shut with a piece of tape, address it back to yourself, put a stamp, address it back to yourself, and go to the mailbox when it arrives and see if you don't grab that thing first out of your mailbox, all right? I paid $5,000 back in the day for a marketing course, and that's all I learned from it. So I'm teaching you guys. So anywho, let me go check on my bread. The bread smells good. I gotta go prepare the burger meat. I don't know, I got latcher honors here, hanger honors, trying to get my burger. Hey you, I talk about you. You have to tell me about my burger now? You used to do that when the kids were little. You would pretend to be asleep like that, and they'd be messing with you, and then you open your eyes suddenly like that.
You see it?
Yeah, you took me back some years, Poppy. Look at these loaves. Let me get them in the oven. The oven's been ready for about 5 minutes. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
You're like half a
You're blocking me, Josh. Hey, you. I just finished my live and you were not a part of it tonight. You're going to get a lashing.
Is that right?
Uh-huh. The kids filled in for you. One of the viewers, Arlene, knows your brother in Belize because he sings. Your brother Wilson.
Okay.
And she go, oh no, that big time. Finish my vlog for me, babe.
Thumbs up and subscribe, folks.
Yes, look at you. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, Daddy, in a kimono. You tired, Papa?